end of the tunnel. It ain't all that bright, but even though it's subtle, it's got me feeling alright. Gonna make it a double. There's a neon light at the end of the tunnel. Take a shot of I don't care what you're doing now. Chase that one with a cold screw you. When that's done, I just might wash it down with a big picture of someone new. That blonde, blonde, blonde at the bar. See if she wants to try and unbreak my heart. There's a neon light at the end of the tunnel. It ain't all that bright, but even though it's subtle, it's got me feeling alright. Gonna make it a double. There's a neon light at the end of the tunnel. Well, when we were together, I thought life would suck forever, even though I knew better than the pain would never end. They say the night's darkest just before the dawn gets kissed by the daybreak. Got down on my knees and I prayed for a sign. Now there it is in the window. It's about time, damn time. There's a neon light at the end of the tunnel. It ain't all that bright, but even though it's subtle, it's got me feeling alright. Gonna make it a double. There's a neon light at the end of the tunnel. Redneck. Well, the boys around here don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where they boot stomp all night. What? That's right. Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid, to get your girl and your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys around here drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot a back, shoot a back, a spit. Oh.
They finished chewing their...
Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that y'all and southern drawl and just can't help 'cause they just keep falling for the boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, shoot her back, shoot her back, fit.
Okay, we might as well get this thing kicked off early. Art, if you'll mute out for just a minute.
Sure.
Welcome to the WINGIT call. The recording has started. It is May 20th, 2016. We're not attorney. First things first. Everybody take a knee, please, and let the good man come in and give us some guidance. Pastor, go ahead.
Hey, I heard Art was on there unmuted doing the ducky, singing along with the song.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. I want to pray. Father, we ask you to bless this call. We ask you to bless Heiko, Art, and, of course, Jerry, as they come in and bring information, understanding. Lord, bless the listeners, open their ears and open their hearts to retain it and to apply wisdom with using all the information given in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so everything, we're not attorneys, we're not financial advisors, we're not CPAs, we're not giving any type of legal advice. What we're talking about today is our opinions, a little research we've done, but it is not under any circumstances to be taken as legal advice or legal guidance. For the rest of the disclaimer, please go to thewingitcall.com and you will find the disclaimer tab. Click on that and finish reading the disclaimer, please. So today we're going to be talking about post-RV and some things to look at and some suggestions. But first things first. Art, take it away.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to everyone, Pastor and Jerry, everyone listening on the call. Beautiful afternoon here. Turning out a little more beautiful in Tennessee. It rained like crazy, about 2 inches from early morning till now, and I guess we need a little rain once in a while. And it's been rather cool for Tennessee, but it's supposed to get a little bit warmer in the next few days, so maybe summer-type weather will finally get to Tennessee. And let's see, right now on Fox News, the White House is locked down for some reason. The Secret Service just cleared the lawn, and the briefing room is locked down, so we don't know what's going on there. Maybe we'll find out while we're still on the call here. What I know is that I guess we're right on top of this. I think most everyone expects this possibly this evening or tomorrow, based on everything we heard yesterday from Bruce's call and what Yosef said, and just other sources that have come in. I had one call today saying that they got an email from someone, a banker, saying that they heard that the gold standard would be announced at 3 o'clock Eastern time today, but I have not seen that anywhere. Of course, I'm not looking at Fox Business News, where I think something like that might be announced. We heard yesterday, I heard through a source that tonight, sometime, Dunford and Jack Lew and the Pope are going to make speeches. So we've heard that kind of thing before, never materialized. So if they are, I have no idea what channel or where. I would think if they want everybody's attention totally, it would be on the emergency broadcast system if they intend to announce something spectacular. So you hear all kinds of things, don't know what's right and what's wrong and what's not. And like Jerry said, just take everything with a grain of salt. But I did listen to the truth call last night, and the second half of it, Yosef was on there, and I know people are kind of anxious about those high rates, and a couple of people were saying why they didn't believe them. I think he did a very good job of explaining why they're possible, and because it's a different situation. They're bonds, they're not currency for one thing, and they're going to turn around and sell them on a platform after the fact, I think. But like he said and told everybody, look, if the rates are that high and you're talking the kind of money they're talking about, and you can't handle it or have a place to put it or a place to give it away to, do not take high rates anyway. Just tell them you want a lower rate. That's all. You don't need to take no high rates, and even if you're offered to them. So I think that was good advice because, hey, you know, if you get in there and they say, we're going to make you a quadruple trillionaire or something, well, my lordy, I don't know what I'd do with that kind of money. I don't think in my lifetime I got left I can hand that much money out, so I don't think I'd want to take a real high rate anyway. So I think everybody just has to be sensible about those kind of things, and like I say, just kind of figure on the rates we heard in the past 2 or 3 months ago, and which are the normal type rates, and if they were offered the high rates, just make sure you've got a plan to put it somewhere to give it away, because you can spend a lot of time giving money away. Hey, it'd be a great feeling though to give money away. That's the way I look at it. So if I get a higher rate and have a ton of money, I'm going to search every day for places to give it away and help humanity, and I think that's what it's all about. So that's the best advice I can give. Don't worry about the rates. All we're worrying about is getting that doggone word that, hey, here's the 800 numbers. Jerry Maguire makes a special call and says, we got some 800 numbers, and Bruce does, and Ray Wren does, and everybody else does, and so there's time to go, time to do it, and that's all we're looking for. And I know Ray Wren's excited today because somebody in this country was using their international card at $3.71, I think he said, and he felt that was an indication that things are live and that maybe Iraq's getting ready to make an announcement too or something. So that's about what I got, I guess. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm thinking it's going to happen this afternoon, tonight, or tomorrow. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. And oh no, Pastor, I wasn't singing along. I don't know who you heard. That wasn't me. That had to be somebody else. Somebody from your choir in your church.
I thought it was you. It sounded just like yours.
No, if somebody from your choir and your church, you've got them tied into the call. I know you must have, and that was them. That's who it was. That's it. The only
I think it was a duet, and it was Art and Okie. Oh,
no, Okie muted out. I think Okie muted out. Okie's on, but he muted out.
Is Okie on here? Hi, Okie.
He's muted. He can say hi. Unmute.
Hi,
Okie.
guys. How are you?
Hi, Okie.
How you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
Well, we're just sitting here waiting on the inevitable.
Okie, I apologize. I'm not trying to paint you into a corner, but I just have one question. Remember when we raised some donations for you? I just want everybody to explain to everybody, did you get your money?
Yes, I did, and I'm very appreciative. It was very badly needed for medical reasons, and I won't forget that. I'm an elephant. I don't forget things, but I'm very grateful to those that helped.
Thank you very much, Okie, and it was my pleasure to do just something as I expect nothing in return. I don't even need to thank you because it was just the right thing to do. Thank you for letting me do that.
It's a very Christian-like, gentleman-like thing, and I, like I say, I don't forget things like that.
All righty. Appreciate it. So, Art, if you'll mute out, and Okie, if you'll mute out.
Sure will.
Rockstar, howdy.
Howdy.
How's it going today?
What? It's going good. It's going good. Everybody's saying here it comes. And doesn't matter what point of the compass you're from, everybody's saying it. So that's what we want to hear. So
I'm going to take the other side of the fence, and I'm going to poke a hole in this balloon and come up with my own opinion. We've all heard, and it's all over the internet, that May 23rd is when there's supposed to be an official announcement about the TRN. That being said, I would love to see it tonight or tomorrow. Would work great for me, but I'm going to be a realist here and say maybe we won't see it till Sunday evening, because then it's the 23rd in Hong Kong and China. And another reason that I say that is we're going from an old system. We're out with the old, in with the new. So if we're getting rid of the fiat dollar and we're all trying to come back in with the new money, we might there could be a very short period of time where we operate with old money underneath the new system. I hope you can follow me on that, but this is just my opinion. I think we might have to wait till Sunday, but if it shows up any sooner, then you can take me out and flog me because I was wrong. So, got that out of the way.
Well, you could also look at it as they want to get us in there over the weekend and have everything set up so that Monday, when it does turn over, they've killed two birds with one stone. They've gotten all that fiat currency off the street, all the Zim exchanges, and then what's left in the banks would start to be covered by the new currencies.
The new money.
Yeah. And I'm still confused about TRNs. I'm not sure that you and I would ever see TRNs.
No, TRNs are supposed to be country to country currency. We're supposed to see the USN. So that a little clarity on that part. Countries will see the TRNs, and then in country and possibly maybe they'll get some overseas. We'll see the USN overseas like the dollar, the Federal Reserve dollar is right now. Eventually, yes, but it's coming. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was it. That basically picked up where I was going. So let's talk about after we're wealthy.
Okay, one more little more things that I need to clear up here.
Okay.
I'm doing a shout out to Dinarland Intel providers that have public calls. Let us start working on how to help and guide the people that listen to us and start giving post-RV guidance. It's, of course, like always, it's just our opinion, and we've done a little bit of research, but after 6 years, me personally and some other people have longer time in it, what we've learned and what we need to look out for, because we're here to help each other. We've talked the rates and everything to death. Now let's talk about post-RV. So I guess I'm calling out the other call providers. Let's concentrate post-RV. Oh, and one nice little bit of housekeeping. When I started up my chat site, I did not ask for any personal information at all, or my forum. I would be quite leery of anybody starting up a new chat room asking for your personal information, i.e. your real name, things like that. A phone number, no. I think that would be gleaning information for post-RV, and besides, it's a security issue. So I would be very wary of somebody asking for that that's starting up a new chat room. That's all I have to say about that. Unless, Rockstar, you have something to add that I've missed.
No, I think just, security is going to be, it's going to be a matter of personal choice, but it's also going to be a smart thing to look into so that we've got the entire, smorgasbord of opportunities and programs. It's not like we're all going to have a personal bodyguard, but depending on how you're going to run your life afterward, you might need somebody to watch your back, literally, on a daily basis. Certainly, security is going to be a major issue when you're choosing an accountant to work with or an accounting firm. lawyers are bound by attorney-client privilege. Attorneys are not. They're gonna have to sign some paperwork, which your attorney. That's one of the things you're going to ask your attorney is, are you aware of this? Have you got any experience with things like this? I need to be protected. Again, that's just one of those things. Unfortunately, with this kind of wealth comes that responsibility, and you've got to brief your family, and if you're new to it, have a professional come in and brief them, and just not to scare them, but just to educate, and so what to do and what not to do. And same thing with the bank. I remember Daz saying once back on the TNT chat room way back when, he said the second thing out of his mouth was, my personal security is my largest concern. What are you going to do to protect me and my family? And that's a big one, because you do become a target, especially folks with new money, and especially folks who haven't had this kind of money. I can't tell you, having spent 40 years in New York City in business there, I have seen some amazing con artists in my time, and I mean slicker than you could possibly believe. And that movie Focus, where he takes the I forget the actor's name, Chinese guy. They set him up all day long, and you never even know it. They set him up for this con involving cash, just betting on what seemingly random stuff in the stadium, and it took him for like $4 or $5 million. That's the kind of sophistication you can expect to be exposed to. Not that everybody's going to be exposed to it, but it's like when you go sailing, there's something called sailor's black box, and as long as you're prepared for a situation, 99 out of 100 times, you're never going to see that situation, but it's the one situation you're not prepared for. Somehow it always finds you. So the more things you're prepared for, better off you're going to be.
Thank you. So can I post that spreadsheet after we're done?
Yeah, sure, why not?
On my forum?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay. All right. So before I get to this, I want everybody just to grab a pencil and piece of paper, but you'll probably have to go look at the forum, and I'll try to get it posted on my webpage also so you can look at it. But please nothing is set in stone until we go to the bank. And so we need to remain flexible and try to think on our feet, hence the term wing it. That's why I came up that's how I came up with the name for this call. Wing it call, because that's what we're doing right now. So that being said, I have a spreadsheet here, and the number that I'm going to quote you on the Zim has been all over the internet. It's been on Dinar Chronicles, Dinar Daily. I think it's even been on recaps, but it's been all over the internet. So this spreadsheet that Iko worked out, and he sent it to me, and he's got a program that did all this, but we're using $5,000 on the Zim and 100 T-note so that we can come up with some figures, just to give you an idea of what's going on. So
yeah, actually it's 10. I think it's 10 T-notes.
Yes, but the figures are based on just one of them that you input.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry, that's true. If it's $5,000, you're right.
Right. So the spreadsheet and everything I'm talking about is based on a 100T note with 6 zeros lopped off, which brings it to a $100 million number. After you lop off 6 zeros, that's what it brings it to, is $100 million. So if you get your calculator out and you do 5,000 times 100 million, you get $500 billion. That's right.
And we use that figure because it was suggested at one time. Not that we know there's caps or not. We don't know. Nobody's sure of any of this. But we figured, why not use the cap just in case it's still in people's minds. So that's where we came up. That's why it's 500 billion. So also, that's another reason it's 500 billion, to my mind.
And it's easy to, if you want to add more to it, another note is just an easy figure, and that's why we did it like this. So once you've exchanged and you have $500 billion in your account, and the bank holds 75% and you get 25%, so the bank has $375 billion. It's your money. Oh, and by the way, this is the last time you're going to hear me talk about this. We no longer have structured payouts. Don't everybody freak out, please. Don't freak out. Listen, I'm no longer using the term structured payouts because it seems like the banks, that's illegal for them. We've heard everybody talk about it. So now the banks are doing a contract. We're calling them contract payouts. I am. Because that's exactly what you're doing, is you're having a contract with a bank above the international rate, whatever that is. So you're making a contract with the bank. It's a contract payout. This is the term that I'm using from now on. So if the bank, you have a contract with the bank, and it's a 75-25, they keep 75, you get 25. They have $375 billion, you've got $125 billion. And so that being said, now you see the breakdown. We're going with round even numbers so that I can talk about this. So now we're going to a 20-year contract payout. This is how this spreadsheet is set up. On 7%, we have one that's 20-year compounded annually 7%, and a 20-year compounded quarterly at 7%. So this is where you need to wrap your brain around this, and it's going to take a little bit. That's why I'm going to post this on the forum. So after the 500 billion is broke down, bank has their portion, you have your portion. So a quarterly payout on the bank's portion to you that they're holding of your money and giving you interest payments on, you get almost $19 billion a quarter at 7% interest. That's a lot of money. And you might be able to reduce how much you want from the bank down a little bit so you don't have as much to worry about to invest, because that's the bank's business. But one question you need to ask the bank: all the projects that you're bringing to the table, are they funded out of your portion, or can you come to them and use some of the money that the bank has, you've entrusted the bank with, to use some of that portion? That's the key question. So on the bank's quarterly payout to you off of the bank's portion that they're holding on to is about $19 billion. Now, on the portion that you have, your 25%, your quarterly payout is $6.2 billion at 7% interest. So right there, you've got what? $24 billion or $25 billion in your quarterly payouts for the year. That's a lot of money. Now, if you want to project that over 20 years on your quarterly payments on this amount of money is $1,502 billion. That is a nice little chunk of change. Even if you try to do the Richard Pryor movie and spend $1 million a day in 30 days or 60 days, I can't remember, was it a year? I think we're SOL here, people. So you need to think about how much is too much, what your business plan is, and all the responsibilities that comes with it. That's a chunk of change. And that's just one Zim 100T Zim note. I'm sure most people have more than that. All of a sudden, ding, the little better idea light bulb comes on above your head. Hold on. Could somebody text me that are on the web if we have sound on the web, or did it go away? Please. I just got a text saying there's no sound on the web. And I'll go to the room to see. Okay, enroll. Anybody in there on the computer link, can they hear me? Put it in the web. Nothing.
You getting any response?
Yes.
No response. So they can hear you or they can't?
Okay. All right, everybody. Okay, got it. Thank you. So it's just that I just want to make sure because this.
Hey, JR?
Yes, sir.
I just want to interject something. The point of this exercise is for folks to understand the kind of, if the sovereign rates exist, and I sure hope they do, and if they do, we used what we consider now a conservative sovereign rate based on the numbers that are out there now. But the point being, Jerry and I were talking yesterday, and these numbers are huge numbers, and it's very difficult to wrap your head around. You start looking at this kind of money, and this kind of money coming to you every 90 days for the next 20 years. You're $24 billion every 90 days. That's not over the lifetime of it. The lifetime is actually, if you extend it out, the total gross is $2,434 billion. It's just so much money. And I know people are objecting to the fact that, well, the bank's in control of 75% of my money. And yeah, that's true. But we're thinking that what the bank is doing is fulfilling the desire to spread this wealth out over time so that the world economy can absorb it. And for people who are worried about not having enough money to do their philanthropic ventures, I mean, you got to figure out how to get rid of $24 billion every 90 days. Bill Gates is having trouble doing that, and he's been trying to for the last 20 years. So it could have the potential of being overwhelming very quickly. And, obviously with this kind of money, you're going to have professionals handling the distribution of it. But I don't know of that many gold-plated accounting firms. There's probably 10 in the country that can handle that kind of wealth. And here we're looking at 4,000 or 5,000 people who are suddenly individuals who are going to have this kind of wealth and who are going to need help distributing it. And these are enormous numbers and enormous responsibilities. And it's not for everybody. Art said it before. He's like, how am I going to spend this kind of money in my lifetime? And he's right. It's difficult. Not that you can't give it away. You can give it. You could give it to a country, whatever. But the point being is that if you start playing with this little spreadsheet, and it's not perfect, don't get math professor on me here. It's a simple interest calculation, and I've got I put in the website so you can click on it and plug in anything you like. You can plug in 20 100 keynotes at 35,000 if that's what you want to do, and start making the columns nice and wide so that it accommodates it and you don't get all those X's. It's enormous. It's enormous wealth. And speaking for myself, I was talking the other day to one of the other folks, and I listed everything I want to own, or I want my trust to own, and I went extravagant. And then I've already worked out a business plan for my veteran centers. So I plugged that in. And I don't need $500 billion making me 7% interest to cover, to even, I don't even need the interest. If you really sit down and look at spending that kind of money. So this is just a little tool to help get a picture of what this kind of wealth could look like. And if these sovereign rates exist, what that's going to do and how much work you have to do to watch your own store. Because with this kind of money going around, somebody can literally skim, and this is who they've been catching in rolling out the RV. These guys skimming a tenth of a penny off of each transaction, but there's billions of transactions. And they stood to gain billions of dollars off of a tenth of a penny skim. So you really, this is just hopefully a help to ground you in your thinking and what you really want in your life and what you really want to do.
Also, I talked about it on the Monday call. And I'm going to be brutally honest here again. Some people are going to ask for a high rate. They're going to go spending money like a ship of drunken sailors. And you're going to be broke in 3 to 5 years. But you've done your part. You have put liquidity back into the economy. But you haven't played the long game to hold on to it to the betterment of more people than just 3, 5, or 10 years. So it's just something to think about. You think with this kind of money there's no bottom to it. Oh yes, there is. You can only spend so much, and then the next thing you know, what do I buy next? And then you're going to hate money. And then you're just going to go out there and start throwing it in the wind. great for a lot of people. Let's see. Pastor, help me out here. I'm trying to think about the fishing thing. Give a man a fish, feed him for a day, or teach him how to fish, and he'll survive for a lifetime. Help me out here. Uh-oh. I think he probably walked away from his phone. Anyway, you've got the drift. So there's a lot of scenarios that we haven't thought about that the Chinese have. But the thing is we're supposed to help our brothers and sisters, and that's why I implore the Dinar Land, other people hosting calls. Let's talk about this, what to expect and what to do, because everybody can explain it differently, and it'll mean more to different people when you have more than just one person talking about post-RV. That's why, Bruce has his call, Bill has his, the Fisher has his, the Real Truth call. Everybody can do something here, and that's just all I'm asking for is let's try to educate as many people as possible in the limited time that we have. That's what this is about. All coming together in the great big grand scheme of things. Boy, that was a lot of information packed into just 30 minutes. Should we take a caller, Rockstar?
Yeah, I think so.
I got a little more intel, Jerry.
Please. Go ahead.
You talking to me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Art.
Okay. Yeah, I just received a text. Said the software for Basel 3 still has some glitches. Guys are still tweaking Basel 3 over a weekend. Next week, exchange. So if there's any truth to that, why, I guess we should not get excited if we do not see it tonight or tomorrow. And also, when I said there were supposed to be some speeches tonight, it's being reported I don't think Pope Francis will be on any emergency broadcast. The next pope to be a woman named Sharon. Well, that's a good one. Well, I have to say, take that with a grain of salt for sure. I thought I think the Pope we got is supposed to be the last Pope, isn't he? To begin with, so I don't know about that one. But it's either good for a laugh or we'll see a woman get on TV and say, I'm the new Pope and my name's Sharon, so I don't know. But I just report what's sent to me, and that one I'm not too sure about. Anyway, it's being reported by somebody, or one had been sent to me by somebody who usually gets some pretty good information. So anyway, right now it's good for a laugh. But the Basel 3 part's not to laugh about, I guess, if there's some glitches in it. So that maybe somebody can kind of check that out and see if there's any truth to that along the way. Whomever's listening, whoever might have some contacts I can find out about. I know nothing about it myself, so anyway, that's what I got.
Thank you, sir. What was I going to say? I have so much in my brain, I guess I need to start writing it down. That or I have CRS. Like I've said before, best comment ever by Bill Parcells when they asked him, so, Bill, why did you do what you did? Well, hell, I don't know. I guess I had a senior moment. I think I'm entitled. He is, at that time, was 65 or something. So let us go. And this 3:30, or in another 30 minutes, this call will be over. So one question, please be brief and to the point so that we can get in as many people as possible and answer questions. Washington, Maryland, 240. Come on down. Yes, sir, that's you. Or ma'am.
Hello.
Miracle Queen, turn off your speaker in the background.
How you doing?
Turn your speakers down.
Okay, I just did.
Not yet, sweetie. You got to turn them down some more.
They're all down. Where's this one? I Okay, try it
Queen, we got
again.
bad feedback, sweetie.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, but there's a lot of bad feedback, Miracle Queen.
Okay, what about now?
No, ma'am. No, it's pretty bad, sweetie. We'll come back to you in a little bit. Atlanta South, 770. Come on down.
Yeah, me, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Jerry, I've been trying to get a hold of you. I've got knocked off the forum for some reason. Nothing I did. Absolutely. I've never made a negative comment on there. Gave to Okie, given to you. And I don't know how to get back on. I can't get anybody to help me with this. It says my IP has been banned. Can you get a message to somebody to get to me? Did I lose you?
Iko, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
What was your screen name?
Dr. D, D-E-E.
I'll have somebody look into it. Do you have a question for us, please?
No, I just want to thank you for all your help. And it's kind of like Iko said, this is almost too hard to believe, especially if you're using low possible exchange rates. But anyway, I think the big caution is, like you've already reiterated, is be careful with how much you ask for. You may,
yes, sir.
You may not be able to handle it. No, thank you so much for your help, and I just wanted to get that issue in, and I do appreciate you taking my call.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Hey, Art, what about Christine Lagarde? Know anything about that?
Christine? She was supposedly arrested at a meeting in London because she had put the wrong codes in when she announced the RV the other day, and the Chinese had anticipated that supposedly, and they had the correct codes, which they did put in, which allowed the RV to start, 2 days ago at 5 p.m. Eastern and finished at 8 p.m. Eastern on time, and I guess everything was good to go. 800 numbers I supposedly given to banks, except it's being held up for whatever other reasons. And then because they had to go out and kill a bunch of cabals, supposedly I know Fisher last night lost a few friends. He said in the process that the special ops have been all over the world actually hunting them down and want to try to do away with as many of the cabal as possible so our money is protected and safe and they can't mess with the systems any longer. And he said he lost a couple good friends. He had a moment of silence at 12 midnight last night in the chat room and on the call for that reason. And that was also, I think, one of the reasons they slowed down the process of actually bringing it out. That was my understanding, and still was also last night. It was supposed to be 24 hours, but evidently extended a little bit longer than that. But so supposedly she was arrested at a meeting in London, and what happened to her since then, Lord only knows, or special ops know, or whoever.
Thank you, sir.
That's the latest.
So, like I've said before, when you're trying to change and take away out with the bad and in with the good, and they've had control for 300, 400, 500 years, you're going to be scrapping to the very end, doing everything you can. Seems like when you have no scruples or no morals, and all you want is money and control of the people, and keep them beat down and enslaved, you're not going to give up easy. So, thank goodness for the people that we have working for us that we'll never know about. But thank you for all that you're doing. Excuse me. So let's go to Homestead, Florida. Last race of the year for NASCAR. 786. Come on down. Hello, Homestead, Florida.
With Johnny there?
78.
Calling.
Yes. Go ahead.
I tried to call and I couldn't get him.
Oh, his phone part of it.
Because, see, I got to
Hello.
just put a drain.
Hello, 786. Homestead, Florida.
And I got to make sure I got.
Well. No, come on. Computer's slow. There we go. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 954. Come on down.
Jerry, the reference you gave to Zim, you did not give a rate which was utilized to determine the value of the Zim. Can you give us the rate for $5,000 worth of 100 million notes worth 500 billion?
Yes, we did. If a 100T note is worth $100 million times $5,000 is $500 billion.
Ooh, I thought you were referencing $5,000 worth.
Yes,
you were referencing...
$5K. The Zim rate is $5,000.
I gotcha. I'm sorry. I thought it was $5,000 worth. Thank you very much.
No. Does it make sense now?
Certainly does. Appreciate everything that you and Art and IKO and now Oki do. Appreciate it.
Well, and I threw that figure out there because those are some of the rates that are rolling around on Dinar sites. Dinar Chronicles, gotcha. Dinar Daddy, Dinar Detective, even recaps. So that's why I had Iko plug that into his program, and we came up with those numbers.
And in previous calls, Iko said use 11 cents. So there's a huge disparity, and I'm not disputing anything. I just recognize there's a huge disparity between 11 cents and $5,000.
Yes, there is. But
and the reason we're saying that is because we need to be prepared for anything when we go into that room. We need to be prepared for the 11 cents, and we need to be prepared, quite frankly, for $35,000, which has been stated. And anything in between, we got to know, we got to think on our feet. So that's
those rates. There are some very high rates being thrown on around in Dinar land.
Yep.
When I saw them out there in the blogs, I went, well, it made me stop and raise an eyebrow like Spock. I said, ooh.
Yeah.
Now,
well,
go ahead.
For someone that sits on a tremendous amount of currency, it is something one needs to ponder at length.
I am glad you brought that up. So this is why you're having a contract payout. Notice I said contract payout because that's what you're having with the bank is a contract.
Right.
Now, you can call it anything you want, but I'm calling it a contract payout. As I've said before, if just 4 or 5 people, let's say we have one person per state with trillions of dollars that starts dumping it into the economy, and it's not metered, and it's just a free-for-all. I'm not an economist, but I'm believing that that's going to drive the price of everything way up.
No question about it. No question.
So consider it to be a metering or a safety valve, not only for us, but for our economy and for the rest of the population that couldn't afford it, if we were to dump all that in the market with not a care in the world, we would. Go ahead.
It definitely is a consideration. Just like you started, we can change the economy tremendously, and not always for the good.
Now here's what I'm going to say. I'm trying to watch my language. I've been admonished several times, and I'm listening. But this is very appropriate. If we were to do that, we would screw our brothers and sisters throughout the continental U.S. and possibly directly affect a lot of economies worldwide. Let's not do that. Let us pull our head out from where it doesn't shine and let the banks oversee, invest however they see fit, because we have no control over it because we made a contract with them. But look at the interest. That's billions of dollars. You have enough on your plate with the portion that you're holding on, keeping, along with the interest coming in. This is an oh my God. So we've got rates from pennies to dollars, high dollars. We're just covering the whole range. Let's be flexible and CYA. Anything else, sir?
No question. Thank you for everything, and I sincerely hope at a time in the future I have the pleasure of meeting all three of you gentlemen.
Well, if you'll just break out the Blue Moon kegerator, start throwing up the Blue Light Kmart special, I might find it.
There is no question about that. If that's all I have to do, I'll have a kegerator special and invite you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. I don't know how to pronounce that. Donovan, Missouri? 573, is that it?
Yeah, it's Donovan, Missouri.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I've got a question. The numbers that you just gave me have blown my mind, but is that like the sovereign rate, they call it?
Yes.
So you go into your exchange, you ask them, what kind of sovereign rate can I get? And because I've got a lot of humanitarian projects that I want to work on that are going to cost me a bit of money.
Go in and ask for what you feel comfortable for. I'm not saying that rate's available. We've just heard it out there on the blog. So we decided, Iko and I did, to take a spreadsheet and plug that number in and talk about it today. But I want everybody to be prepared for as little as 11 cents to, oh my God, I need oxygen because of the sovereign rates. So we're throwing this out. We're throwing this out here so that everybody can talk about it and we can go from there. And that's why I'm talking about the interest, compounded interest, off of what the bank's going to have, giving you interest on what you have in your account. Yeah. That's a lot of money, isn't it? And it comes with a lot of responsibility. Now,
yes.
And just remember, one of the key questions to ask is, of your projects, do you have to wholly fund those projects out of your portion? That's a question to ask at the bank.
Most of them I will, because there's nobody around that is doing what I want to do.
Well, no. You missed my point.
Okay.
If you have a lot of projects and the bank is holding on to 75% and you have 25%,
right?
Do you have to fund all of your projects out of your your portion that you're responsible for. Do you understand now?
I get the bank partnership up with me or something like that.
Right.
Okay, got it.
All right, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Deerfield Beach, Florida, 954. Come on down.
Hello, Jerry.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
Good. Hug a redneck?
Good. Not today. Not today. Sorry.
Oh well, I'm gonna have to pass you by then.
Forgive me this time. Forgive me. I think you basically answered my question, because I want to know the rate that you were quoting for the Zim. What was the percentage, or what the dollar amount was, or the cent amount? And I think you answered that with the lady just prior to me.
Okay.
So thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
Hilton Head, South Carolina, 843.
Hi, Jerry.
How you doing?
Got a question for you. You're talking about this Zim contract. Are they going to make you also fold in your dong and or your dinar with that Zim contract, or will they each have their own separate contract, each currency?
I've heard that there'll be a separate contract for each one.
Do you know if we might have a choice to lop them all together, or
nope,
or not?
I don't know, and that's
okay,
where you need to be flexible.
Out.
You need to be flexible with your game plan when you walk in the door.
Very good. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot for your great service. You guys are great. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Comment on that, Jerry?
Go ahead, Art.
Yosef said last night when asked the same question that they would fold all three into one.
Okay, well, there's your answer. Thank you, Art. Atlanta, Northeast, 678. Come on down. Atlanta, Georgia, 678. Come on down. Last three of your phone number is 049. Hello. Well, and they're not there. Well, let's see. Aiken, South Carolina, 803. Come on down.
Thank you, Gary, for taking my call. You know, I'm just sitting here thinking, which is a dangerous thing, that I had heard that an ounce of gold will be going for $5,000 per ounce. And I believe that Zim note represents the value of the gold that we're supposed to be trading in for. Have you thought about that?
I don't know. I've heard it's supposed to go the other direction, around between 400 and 500.
Well,
I
have heard it's going to be 5,000.
I know,
when it
and I've heard that there's a lot more gold out there that's hidden from us than what is available to the public.
Yes, but still, the value of that gold will not come down; it'll go up. Actually, you don't have any gold available to you now.
No.
Okay. Well,
no.
When it revalues, it's going to revalue sky high.
Well, this is where there's two schools of theory. Some say it will go up, and some say it will go down. Because if you'll remember, back when we were an asset currency, asset back before Nixon took us off the gold standard, they were basing an ounce of gold at $30 to $35 an ounce. And gold, I think, at that time was maybe $50.
But that was all controlled fiat status. They tried to control everything all the way through to where we are now. So that was a lie for the value of gold. They control that value. We're not going to have any control over our value now. It's a new world. It's a new train of thought. Basically, what you're doing is you're trading that currency in for ounces of gold.
There's a lot of gold out there that has been hidden from us, getting ready to bring forth into.
Still there?
This has. You hear me?
Gary,
you're breaking up.
Bad.
Can hear the caller fine. Can't hear you. Caller, you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir. I can hear you fine. I'm testing speed.
Yeah, Jerry. It sounds like it's on Jerry's end.
Do you understand what I'm talking about?
What? Yeah. Well, while we're waiting for Jerry to come back on, this is. I mean, granted, I'm no economist, but the explanations that I've heard is that the reason that gold, once we're asset backed, the reason that gold is going to be down around 455, somewhere in that neighborhood, is because it's only part of the asset formula. That the asset-backed currency has to take in all of the resources of the given currency. So it's the minerals, it's how much water there is, it's even how big your army is. That's all part of a country's assets, and the currency is based on the country's assets.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
but there's got to be.
I know it seems backwards, doesn't it, with the gold?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not backwards.
Okay.
But you got to have something in the vault to represent all those commodities.
That's
so
true.
What do we use? Gold to represent all those commodities, even the energy of the people.
What? Yeah, let me try to answer that. It's not just gold anymore. With the asset-backed currencies, gold is part of it, but so is silver, so is diamonds, for example, so is platinum, so is uranium. All those metals, all the resources of the country are now combined to create that asset value. So gold is only one item in those assets.
What I'm putting out is gold will represent the value of all those commodities combined in the buying.
Yeah, and I don't think
vault.
it will. That's my understanding of it. So, and you know what? It's my understanding is just gleaned from all other explanations into me. I have no idea what is because I know we've had this same discussion in other groups.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now
yes.
I can hear you.
Okay. All righty, sir. Thank you for your comment. We could discuss this for another 20 minutes, but we won't know until. All right. Bye-bye. Last caller of the day, Gary, Indiana, 219. Come on down.
Jerry, I started off trying to listen to your program today on the internet, and I waited until 4:45 when I realized that something was wrong. I refreshed it at that point, and then your voice came on. So a lot of us on the internet probably missed the first 15 minutes of your call.
My apologies. I sent out the link, and then I was tired. I got it re-straightened out, but I'll, as soon as the call is over with, the replay link will be going out, and you can click on it on the Twitter and listen to the whole call. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Pastor, are you there? Just checking.
I'm here.
Okay, well, hold on. Art, you want to sum up anything as we call it a day?
Not really. Just gave you everything I got. Just we'll look forward to it any time between now and Monday, I guess.
Thank you, sir. Rockstar?
Yeah, I just want to say as a general statement that we want to say I've said this before, but I want to repeat it, especially after Monday's call because people got sidetracked. We want to take everybody's information, everybody's, no matter whether it seems to us outlandish or not, and put it in a pot and stir it around, and not dismiss information, but again, try and hear any one person's take on this in light of all the other folks who are also giving out what they feel is a valid take on our situation, because somewhere in the middle there in the mush is actually what is happening. So I'm trying not to, even though sometimes I sound like I'm taking sides. I'm trying not to take any sides. I'm trying to allow for all the possibilities. And toward that end, I've got several spreadsheets with a low end, a middle end, and what we'll call the sovereign end. And you can change all kinds of variables in it, come up with a completely different conclusion. But the bottom line is we're going to have to think on our feet when we get into that exchange room. We're not going to have time to compare notes, especially Zim holders. We're not going to have enough time to compare notes with everybody else's experience. And it appears there is some discretion on the bank's part to decide what portion of a sovereign rate they feel we can handle, or I don't want to say deserve, that's a bad word. What portion is correct for the particular individual standing in front of them? So the extreme example is we've got 11 cents and we've got $35,000 right now to work with. Somewhere in between those two numbers is what we are arguing for in our exchange meeting. What we feel we need to do, what we want to do, what we can handle, what we're comfortable with, how grand our vision is, etc. And be prepared to explain yourself. That's what I'm hoping all of the information is going to help us do. And as far as who's pushing the button, there's different interpretations of that as well. And somewhere in there, somebody's right, or maybe two people are right, or maybe everybody's right. They just have a different interpretation of the intel that's been provided. So open minds, open hearts, and the ability to be flexible are really key in this thing. And try not to let your fear take over at any given time, especially later on when you are wealthy. Learning to deal with fear is going to be a big part of what we do on a daily basis. So that's my summary for today.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Now, a little shout out to, I'm the only one that reads the emails on the WINGIT at gmail.com. Been kind of tired and busy, but I got a very nice, from Monday's call, it was either brimstone and pitchforks and, as I like to say, chestnuts roasting on the open flame, to you're doing a great job. Well, one lady wrote a very nice long email, and I read the whole thing. She's taking care of, and she's in Texas, taking care of her mother, and her mother always goes when, I guess she listens to the call too, is that redneck on that radio there? And so the lady's name is PJ. PJ, yes, I did read that email, and I think I responded back to you, and I just want to do a shout out to you. And yes, ma'am, to your mother, yes, ma'am, this is the redneck talking to you. I think you, Nana, I can't remember. I read so many emails, but I apologize, but I'm directing this towards you. Yes, ma'am, I want you to get feeling better. It is not time to put away your dancing shoes just yet. So get ready, because I think your daughter is going to take you on a whirlwind cruise. So thank you, PJ, for everything that you've done. Pastor, will you take it away?
Yes,
Let's all
sir.
take a knee.
All right.
Let's take a knee, please.
All righty. Father, we come to you right now in Jesus' name, and we just ask your complete peace and complete understanding, complete wisdom to be in each person that's listened, Lord, as well as each person that's spoken. We ask you to culminate this thing, bring this GCR in, bring us our transfer of wealth, our whatever you would like to call it, Lord, a blessing. Bring it to us and let us use it wisely for our own families, for the kingdom of God, and for other families and other people. Lord, help us to help humanity. From this point on, I thank you that wisdom and understanding and peace will be filling each and every one of us in Jesus' name. Amen.
Go RV. All right, everybody. See you Monday. Bye.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye.